today we'll discuss 2017 paper, section B. Section A, already I have created a video. You can refer to that. Okay, or it will be there in the list only. Let us start. Uh, the very first program is question number 4, electric bill. So let us understand the program. What is the question? So here uh, we have a class electric bill. What are the data variables or instance variable? First one is N, which is going to be the name of the customer, units, which is going to store the number of units, bill, which is the bill amount to be paid. Then we have various methods. First one is the accept method to accept the name of the customer, the number of units consumed. Then we have the calculate method, which will calculate the bill as per the following tariff. So first 100 units, it is 2 rupees. Next 200 units, 3 rupees. And next above 300 units, 5 rupees. And additional surcharge of 2.5. This charge if the number of units consumed is above 300 units. Then we have a print method where we are displaying the number of name of the customer, the number of units consumed, and the bill amount. And at the end, we are supposed to write a main method where we are creating the object and calling the member methods. Let us start now. We go into the program. So if you see here, this question is also here. So here the very first line is import java.util.scanner. We are creating a class called electric bill. We are having N, which is nothing but the name of the customer, units, number of units consumed, and bill, which is the bill amount. In accept, we'll use a scanner class. Then we will accept the name of the customer, the number of units consumed. Okay, these two things are the input. Then it calculates the calculation. Let me keep this open over here. So in calculate, let's keep both the windows open. Okay, in calculate, as you can see, okay, if the first 100 units, it is 2 rupees. So here the number of units is less than equal to 100. So units is equal to units into 2. Okay. Else if the second condition, that is next 200. So it is definitely, if it is not less, it is greater than 100 and it is less than equal to 300. Okay. In that case, the number of units multiplied by 3. This is what is there. And above 300. So there is no need of writing a separate if. You can directly write else because that is the last condition. And here you can write units into 5, okay, which is written over here. Then you are supposed to calculate the surcharge. Now surcharge is going to be, this is just explanation. Okay, surcharge is going to be 2.5% charge if the number of units is more than 300. So on that only you are supposed to pay the surcharge. So the last, if you are supposed to write here whatever is the bill amount, because this is going to be more than 300 units. So whatever is the bill, you have to charge 2.5% surcharge. So bill will be actual bill plus the surcharge. This will be the, if the number of units are more than 300. And last method is nothing but your print method where you will display the name of the customer, the number of bill, units consumed, and the bill amount. And at the end, you will write the main method. You will create the object of the electric bill class. We'll call the three methods. First one is your accept method, then your calculate method, and then your print method. Let us execute the program and see. Let's take it as 250. So bill amount is 750. So this way you will be getting. I guess it is clear. It's not very difficult. Next question is your SPY number. This is your question number 5. Now, what is this question basically? Let us understand that. Now, here what is given, write a program to accept a number and check whether it is a SPY number or not. Now, what do you mean by SPY number? pi number if the sum of its digits is equal the products of the digits. So if this is the number 1124, then you have to take the addition of all these and you get a number which is 8. And if you multiply all these numbers, then also you get 8. So if both are same, then we say it's the pi number. So logic is very simple. You have to take one digit at a time. That is, we already know we can make use of division sign and mod sign. With the help of that, we can find out the last digit. Okay, and then we can just add and we can just take the product. So let's start. We have a class pi number over here. We'll be entering a number over here. Let's take the same number 1124. We have two things. One is sum, another is product. Sum, as you know, sum you can take the initial value as 0. But for product, we are supposed to take 1 only, because if you multiply any number with 0, you will get 0. So that is the reason we have taken 1 over here. Okay, now we have to continue till the end. So that's why we have taken while over here. N is greater than 0. So let's take that same number. Let's say we are having the number 1124. Let's take annotation for this. Okay, let's take, this is my number 1124. Okay, so initially my number is 1124. Now what are we doing? R is equal to just R mod 10. So we have to take first thing a remainder and division sign. So we'll divide this by 10. Let's try to divide it by 10. If you divide by 10, sorry, don't take 4 actually. Just erase this part. 4 is not taken initially. We'll be taking only 2 is there, 2, and then 4 will be taken here. This is actually 1 only. And remainder is 4. Okay, so if we divide, if we use the division sign, we will get 112. If we use the mod sign, we are going to get the remainder, which is 4. 4 is nothing but the last digit. So this is what is the logic. If you divide any number, you will get the remaining digit. And if you divide it, if you take the remainder sign, then in that case, you will get the last digit. Okay, this way the things are going to happen. So let's start. This is my number. Okay. Now here what I will get, if I try to take the remainder, I will get here R is going to be what? The remainder of, I will get 4 over here. So sum is going to be what? Sum is going to be 0 plus 4. Okay, which is nothing but 4 in the first iteration. And product is going to be what? Here it is going to be 1 into 4, which is 4. Okay, and here I have to, I divide it, so divide means I will get the number which is 112, which is to be carried forward. So now the next number which I will be getting is 112. So I will just erase it from here. Now here, this is my number. Okay, so here, now what will happen? The second iteration, if I am using the mod sign, then in that case, here I will get is the next number which is 2. Okay, and this will become 4 plus 2, which is nothing but 6. And this will be 4 into 6, 4 into 2, which is 4 to the 8. Okay, and now here I will get the number which is 11. So this is what is the next number, 11. Okay, let us erase that. because now we try to divide 11. So in that case, this is what we will get. Okay, so here what we will get is, here you will get, if you will get 1 over here, so 6 into 6 plus 1, which is 7, and here you will get 8 into 1, which is 8 again. Okay, and here you will get, because we'll divide, so 1 is there. So now the next iteration, this will be 1 mod, because here if you will try to erase, okay, you will get 1 only. Remainder is also 1, okay, and this you will get 0, because here you will get 1 only. If you take the remainder, you will get 1 only. Okay, so here this will be 7 plus 1, which is 8, and here it is 1 into 1, which is again 8. Okay, and this is, you will get 0 over here. So once you divide, you will get 0. So this will stop the division. Now if you check this 8 and 8, both are same. So we can say we will get that it's the pi number. Let us run this program and see. Okay, if you take some other number, say it's not a pi number. So the logic is very clear. Okay, such programs will come where you are supposed to make use of this logic only. Let's go to the next program now. Now here, question number 6 of 2017. Write a menu-driven program for the following. Now here what is asked, you are having two options. So you have to write three switch cases. Okay, first for the first case, second for the second case, and we have a default case, which will be giving you a invalid option or error message will come on the screen. So first is what x1 minus x2 plus. So here if you see, the odd series is positive and the even series is negative. It's addition only. Here addition until 20 you are supposed to do. And this is what, if you want to display something, normally we have this triangular output. Here we are trying to display on the same line. Okay. So here first one, 2 times 1, 3 times 1, 4 times 1, 5 times 1. So let us see now. First you will write the input, then you will write the class, then you will write your main. Now you will give two options, one for first series, two for second series. Enter your choice. You will accept the choice. Okay. Let's go for the first case. Case 1. Sum initially is 0. Okay, so the value will start from 1 to 20. Now here we are taking, because for even series, if you divide by 2, that is, if you try to find a remainder, if it is 0, then it's even. And you have to remember it's going to be a minus sum. Okay, and this is 2 raised to, because it's clearly given over here, x raised to. So you simply write over here x raised to I. Okay, whatever the value of x you have to take from the user. Right now I've written 2 over there. Instead of that 2, you have to write x over there, and that the value of x you will be taking from the user. That is the only change you will do. Okay, and print the sum over there. So we'll take one small example over here. So let's say I is 1, so what will happen? 1 mod 2, so it's not even, it will go to this part. So it is 2 raised to 1, the first one. The second time when I is 2, that time the second part will execute. So this way it will cumulative add. Okay, first iteration it will be 2 raised to 1. Second iteration it will be minus 2 raised to 2. Third iteration it will be 2 raised to 3. Then like that it will happen. And at the end we will get the sum. The second case, it's very simple. Only thing what we are doing is we are not printing on the different lines. We are printing it. That is the only change. This is print only. Okay, and we are printing a space. So this is for one, this will work one time. For two, it will work two times. For three, it will work three times like that. And the last one, which is the default, which is the invalid true. Let us run the program. See the output. Some output will come. Let's go to the next program. Now this is question number 7 in 2017 paper. Write a program to input integer elements into an array of size 20 and display the largest, smallest and sum of all the elements. So it's very clear you have to take an array of size 20. Okay. So simply you use the first import scanner class, then you write the array class, then you make use of scanner class. You have to take an array of 20 elements. So this is how you take the array of 20 elements. For accepting the elements, you simply have to say instead of array, you will say array of I, and you will accept all the 20 elements. Now, initially, you will say smallest is array of 0, and largest is also smaller of 0, and sum is equal to 0. The sum is very easy to find. Sum you have to simply add this cumulative addition. Only for smallest, what you have to do, you whatever is your number, you have to compare it with the smallest. If it is smaller than this, then you have to change the value of that to smallest. If that number which you are taking, if it is greater than the largest, then you have to change the value of largest to that particular number. Let's take one example. I will take only three numbers. Okay, just for simplicity. Let's take only three numbers. Let's say this is smallest, largest, and sum. And let's say this is a of 0 is 0, 1, and this is 2. Okay. Now what we are going to do? Let's say the elements which we have taken is 3, 2, and 5. So these are the elements. So how this will work? So initially I'm just taking for simplicity, I have taken only three elements. So we have accepted the element smallest initially is arrow of 0. So whatever is in the arrow of 0, 3 we are keeping it here also and we are keeping 6 here also. Okay. Sum is initially 0. So the color. Sum is initially 0. Now what we want to do? First time arrow of I is less than smallest. So we will check this. Whether it is less than smallest, no. Okay. So whatever is there, it is already there. If it is greater, that is also okay. First, no problem. And some we have to add. Simply we have to add the elements. So this will become 3 in the first iteration. Then we will go to the next iteration that I is equal to 2, 1. So in that case, we are taking 2 now. So 2 is less than this. Yes. So what will happen? This will change. This will become 2. Is 2 greater than this? No. So no change. This will get added 3 plus 2, which is nothing but this will become 5. Then the second iteration. Third iteration, now 5 will be taken. So 5 is 5 less than this? No. 5 greater than this? Yes. So this will change. This will become 5. And this is to be added. 5 plus 5, this is nothing but 10. So this will become 10. So answer at the end will be what? Smallest will have 2, largest will have 5, and sum will be 10. This is what is it. Let us run this program and see the output. We will take the same input. Actually, we can just try some because 20 is there. I will not change the program now. Let us run the program. It should work for all the 20. Let's put some values. I'm just keeping for simplicity in series only. 7, 8. You can keep random also. Otherwise, think that it should give me the correct output. Okay, so sum is this. Largest is 90 and smallest is 1. So this is the basic logic. Let us clear the recording. Okay, let's go to the next program, question number 8. Design a class to overload a function check as follows. Now, there are two methods. First one is we are passing two parameters. One is a string, another is a character. Second one, we are passing a string. Now, what is there? Here is there clearly given. It's the first one. We are checking the frequency of the character in the string. So, if the str is success, we should get S. S we are checking is how many times it is there? 3 times. So 3 should be the output. Here we are passing computer and we should get only the vowels. So here O, U and E. These are the vowels. This is the output. So let us see how we'll write the program. So we'll write the class as sentence overload. We'll write two parameters. One is str, second is ch. Result is initially 0. Okay, we are just checking the occurrence. So we'll start from 0, we'll go to the length. We have to take one character at a time. So first time what will happen? First time we are sending, what is the string? Success. So first S will come. In the first case, this will be your S. Okay, it will check. Is that CH? Yes, because CH is going to be S. If it is same, yes. So result will become what? Result will become 1. In the second case, what will happen? It will check for U. So in that case, result will not change. Then C will come, no change. E will come, no change. When S will come, that time it will become 3, and at the end, you will get the result as 3. This is how things happen over here. Okay. Next is we are simply checking whether a vowel is there and we are printing that vowel. So simply we will convert it to lowercase. Then we have to start from 0. We have to go to the end of the string. We have to check each character at a time. So let's see the first, what is the character we are going to send? Computer. So first time you will get C over here. Okay, it will check whether C is there in this. We are simply written or over there to check whether it is A, E, I, O, U. If C is not there, so no change, that character will not get displayed. Okay. Then O will come. O will be checked. Yes, O is there. Because O is there, what will happen? That O will get printed. This way it will continue and all the vowels will get displayed over here. Okay, this is what is the logic for the second one. Now we'll create an object of this, then we will call these two methods. First method will pass success and S, and second method will pass computer. Okay, whatever is given in the question, please try to write the same thing because there are marks for all this. So this is what is output. You are getting 3 and you are getting the vowel O, U, E. I hope it is clear. Now question number 9 in this was selection sort. This year they have removed that, so I have not discussed that. Okay, selection sort is this year they have removed that from the board syllabus. So that is the reason, otherwise you will get confused. That is the only reason I have not discussed that program. Okay.